Early access, where gamers pay to beta test for developers. I've played several early access games this year, so I decided to rank them based on how excited I am to see a full release. Here are my top 7 early access games from this year that you should keep an eye on. Star Wars Outlaws. Just kidding, but it kind of feels like I played an early access version. I gotta give an honorable mention here to Hades 2. It could very well be number 1 on this list, but I refused to play it in early access. I bought and played Hades 1 in early access and always wished I had waited until full release, so I'm doing that with the second game. I'm trying to stick to my guns here, and I have full faith that it will be worth the wait. At number 7, I have The Rogue Prince of Persia. Granted, I haven't played this that much, but this roguelite has very fluid mechanics that feel reminiscent of Dead Cells, which makes sense because the developers Evil Empire took over Dead Cells development back in 2019 and have steadily released a lot of great DLCs. This one is getting a big update this week that brings a shift in art style and also a bunch of new content. I think the biggest negative here is that it's being published by Ubisoft, but the devs have proven that they can deliver good products, and I think that will continue with this game. At number 6, if you ever wish to combine Russian roulette with a card game, then look no further. Liar's Bar is a new, relatively cheap party game that's easy to pick up and easy to learn. Your goal is to lie and bluff your way to victory. The last one without a bullet in their head wins. Simple and dumb fun with a small group of friends.
No way, no way.
Oh my god.
At number 5, I have Death Must Die. This actually released in November of 2023, but that's close enough this year. The best way I can describe this is Vampire Survivors with a little dash of Hades in terms of narrative delivery, but different gameplay. If you're a fan of roguelites, this has to be up there. I love to play this one on my Steam Deck in quick bursts. It's an easy one to pick up, but hard to put down as it can be highly addictive. It'll have you saying just one more run until your eyes hurt from staring at the screen. Number 4, the unintentionally controversial and quickly beloved Palworld. I could never have anticipated being so sucked into this game when it released. I haven't liked a Pokemon game since the original Silver version. I just didn't consider myself a fan of the genre anymore, but maybe it was just the package it was delivered in. A monster collecting game on top of a co-op survival game is so much more fun than I ever imagined. The only reason I'm hesitant to rate this higher is because of the lawsuit brought on by Nintendo. Only time will tell what happens to the game in the future. At number 3, I have Witchfire. Take the gunplay of Destiny, throw it into a roguelite, and you have Witchfire, kind of. I covered this game earlier this year, and while I loved the mechanics, it felt almost like a tech demo with the small amount of content. However, the small team behind this game continue to put out meaningful and engaging content that gives me hope that this will be a very fun and a complete experience one day. At number 2, I have Enshrouded, the action-adventure game disguised as a survival game with voxel-based building. This is going to be a great cooperative experience once it's finished, and I already plan to host a server for my community. It has a fun traversal system, decent combat, questing, farming, and building. My main complaint in early access is that the gameplay loop is a bit shallow moving from area to area, but as it gets more content, it can only get better. And at number 1, a Souls game after my own heart, I have No Rest for the Wicked. I can't ignore a little bit of bias here as I love Souls games, but this game is just oozing with quality. It takes a familiar experience and quite literally turns it on its head using an isometric camera perspective. This game is from Moon Studios, the same developers that made the 2 critically acclaimed Ori games. I have very high expectations for this game, and I believe that Moon can deliver. It is not a complete experience right now, so I would recommend waiting, but it will be worth the wait for fans of challenging action RPGs. 2024 has been an overall solid year of releases, with many games slipping through the cracks. Whatever you think of paying to play early access games, there are many examples of this system working out very well for gamers and developers alike. Hopefully, I can bring your attention to some games I think will deliver a great experience one day. Let me know in the comments which games I missed.